to May's Lug Life. I'm May, and this was going to be a let's look at the new colors video. So I had actually was starting to do one where I was looking at the new colors that the Dolly came in, and the Ranger XL packable tote bag came in, and then it hit me as I was looking at the colors for the Dolly. It hit me that it actually said Dolly Short SE, and it didn't occur to me at the time, but I thought maybe they had just released the SE, sorry, the Dory in new colors, and they just sort of added on to the colors they already had. And then I noticed the SE and realized they would have not made that distinction unless there was a reason for it. So I actually decided to go and look quickly at the other one to see if the other Dory short still existed. And lo and behold, it does. So then I was trying to look between the two, and the video got really long, and I decided, forget it. I'm not doing this video because I did discover what the difference was between the two Dories. So I decided to scrap that video. So I was kind of recording the whole thing, and I was thinking out loud, and it ended up being way longer because I was thinking out loud and I was going between the two things. And so I completely deleted that video and made this one. So now this is kind of more of a, it's a sort of a blend between the comparison between the Dory SE and the original Dory short, and looking at the new colors that the Ranger comes in. So that we'll look at the new colors in the Ranger packable at the end, but let's look here at the differences between, or the difference between the Dolly Short SE cosmetic case, which just came out a few days ago, and the original Dolly Short cosmetic case. So, like I said, the fact that Lug made a distinction to put the letters SE, which usually means special edition, made me kind of, it sort of alerted me to the fact that there might be something different. So for those of you in the States, I believe the Dory SE, short SE rather, was combined in sort of like a bundle with the new box tops that got released as well this past weekend in the little two-piece set. So I think they were sold as a bundle. So you got the two-piece box top and the Dory Short SE. And so I thought that was the reason why at first, because, you know, they had to distinguish between the two for inventory reasons. But then I was like, you know what, for them to, you know, not put the two together on the main website was a little bit weird. So when I looked, the main difference, and I'll show you, is the measurements. So let's look here. So the original one, I do have it right here, the original Dory Short, the measurements are 8¼ inches wide, 4.5, so 4.5 inches high, and 3.5 or 3.5 inches deep. Now let's go over to the new one, the SE. So the SE, 8¼ inches wide, which is the same, 4.5 inches high, but it's got a 1/2 inch depth extra. So it's let's see, let's do it this way. So it's a 1/2 inch longer this way. So you've got the thing being 8.5 inches wide, sorry, 8¼ inches wide this way, 4.5 inches tall, and then the depth of it is now 4 inches, whereas the original one was apparently only 3.5. So they gave you a 1/2 inch difference between the original Dory Short versus the SE. So the SE is the slightly larger of the Dory Shorts. So it's just a little bit deeper, it gives you a little bit more room. Now it made me think, why did they do this? Because I don't know if anyone asked for this to be a little bit bigger, but it made me think that I'm wondering if they knew that they were trying to package the Dory Short SE with the box tops, and to be able to provide enough space for the box tops to go inside, I think they needed to give a little bit of extra room to the box tops. So I just kind of thought, well, okay, you know, let's take a look and see if they actually did make room for that. So let's just take a look really quickly at the box tops. So the box top measurements are 4.5 inches deep. So for them to be able to put the box tops inside the Dory Short, they had to make the Dory Short just as deep as the box tops. So there we go. So I think that was the main reason, was because obviously when they were striking a deal and working out the new releases of new products for QVC, QVC was probably saying, you know, it's better that we can stuff all these together and make them sort of presentable so that, you know, open up the one and you see the two little box tops on the inside. And then they went, hang on, our box tops don't fit in the original one because they're a little bit too small and you would have had to squash them down. And that, you know, always creates wrinkles and all that kind of stuff. So I think to accommodate the box tops going inside, they had to make the new Dory short a little bit bigger. So that is my theory. I don't know if that's the reason, but there we go. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Now, unfortunately, I don't know if these box tops are any different. I don't know if they're different from the ones that they were selling singularly on LugLife. That I don't know, and I'm not about to get into that because this is not about the box tops, but if anybody knows off the top of their head, let me know. So anyway, so let's look at the Dory Short SE, and then we'll just sort of compare them back to the original Dory Short. So basically, like I said, there's really no difference except for the colors. So the colors that are left in the Dory Short are, you've got a few of the neon colors from the summer, and then you've got the Zebra Sand, Pause Navy is still around, Midnight Black is still around. Hello, maybe not. There it is. Firework Navy from the summer, the Sandtop from the summer, I believe, as well. Crimson Large Dot, and then the Heather Gray. So those are the ones that are still available for the original Dolly Short. I don't know if those are the same colors that are available for through LugLife, because sometimes those colors are a little bit different. But let's look at the new colors that are available. Is available? I don't know. Sorry. English grammar never taught in schools when I was going through. They had just stopped teaching grammar. So I think they were hoping that we would just hear grammar being spoken correctly and just pick it up and not actually be taught it. Of course, no one speaks proper English anyways, anywhere. So we all just, you know, don't speak good anymore. So there we go. So let's take a look. So not only they changed the size a little bit, but they came out with a whole bunch of new colors, which I didn't know. I, for some reason, thought some of these colors had already come out in the Dory Short, but as it turns out, I think they're all completely new. So let's just take a look here real quick at the Dolly Short SE Cosmetic Case colors. So these are the brand new colors that were just released this weekend, released to the entire Lug line. So we have here, which I think might become my new summer favorite, just because I have a weakness for dragonflies, but this is the Dragonfly Ice Pop. So it's got the pastels on the outside as opposed to the original Dragonfly Navy, where it had a navy backdrop with some blues and greens and teals and taupes on the dragonflies instead. So there we go. And let's look at the inside. Oh, the inside. Okay. There we go. So I forgot about this. For some reason, I completely forgot about this, that this is what they put on the inside. So this is kind of my second go round because, as I said, I made a video earlier when I was looking at all the colors that were just introduced. So I did look at the Dory Short, but now I'm looking at them again. Just, you know, like whatever, I guess it was half an hour ago that I made the original video, so I kind of forgot that this was in here. So there we go. So I don't know, whoops, I don't know what color that is. Is it lime? I'm not sure. Anyway, so looking forward to seeing that in real life. So I think I might be getting some of these things. I might, if these go on sale well enough, I think I'll be getting the Dory Short. I don't actually have one yet, and I kind of like the box tops as well, so I might be getting that set if they come on sale. So we'll see. All right, then we have brand new as well, Flourish Berry. We've seen the Flourish print before, but we haven't seen it in this color. So what is that, like magenta? Kind of like a fuchsia? I'm not sure. So anyways, very, very pretty print. It looks really, really good. So for all the pink lovers out there, you've been deprived, I think, recently. There hasn't been a lot of pink stuff, especially in this hue. So I'm very happy for all you guys who love this kind of sort of more bright, bold pink, because you finally get some stuff in this bright, bold print. And then now, I'm not sure if I love the inside of this, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm not sure if I love this particular sort of pastel-y print on the inside, because it's so beautiful and bold on the outside, and to have this sort of meh, sort of hazy, softer, you know, pastel-y, sketchy look on the inside. It doesn't really match me personally. I don't think the flowers even are the same as the ones on the outside. So I don't know what they could have put on the inside of this. There probably are a few things that, you know, would have looked lovely in here, but unfortunately, even though I love this print, I just don't think it works. I just love it that you've got this beautiful, bright, bold color on the outside, and you would think that even if it's not bright and bold on the inside, you would at least have something very complimentary, and I find that this one doesn't quite work as well. It kind of becomes very weak. It almost looks like one of those, you ever see those things that were made in China that, like you just beautiful print on the outside and the inside, you're like, what is this? And you kind of go, you guys just use scrap like fabric, whatever you had around to line the inside, and you didn't care. And so I always, whenever I see things like that, I'm always like, oh yeah, okay. So this is where they cut corners, where they were trying to find, like, you know, something that was really cheap that they could use and just make the outside really impressive. Now I know that Lug did not do that here. They didn't, you know, cheap out. I think they thought that this was a really good interior print. Me personally, I think I would have gone for something else. I don't quite know what. I'm just even thinking, like, you know, the interior of the flamingo blue, so it's got like the stripes with the confetti, like with the sprinkles. I think that might have been kind of cool because it's a little bit bolder. It's a bit of a richer pink. And in the sprinkles, I think it might even be the same color as that. So anyways, that's just me personally thinking out loud. Okay, and then the brand new color here, which is the Gardenia Green. Not sure if I love this as much. I was really hoping, I think, that maybe I would see more of that green, that lime green, that sort of limey yellow green, and maybe the flowers were a lot smaller and a little bit more spread out, kind of almost like the sort of sparseness of like a bouquet, of the bouquet line, where the flowers are really small and really spread out, so you see a lot more of the background color. I think that's what I had in my head, because I think that's what I saw in some of the sort of sneak peeks that they were sort of putting out of the pattern throughout the website. Oh, I just forgot about this as well. So anyway, so for me, probably a little bit too many flowers. And it's a very retro look. So if you're really into that retro sort of color scheme, this is great. Again, with the interior, I'm not sure if I love it. I find it a little bit weak. This is so bold. And then I know they've carried this sort of mauvey lavender color inside a little bit, but I don't know. Now, I do love the fact that it's a light color. I always appreciate light interiors, regardless of what they look like, because you can then see what you're doing and it doesn't get too dark in there. But I'm not sure if I love it, because this is not the leaf for that flower. So I think that's what bothers me the most, is that, you know, you don't see these leaves on the inside. The fact that you have, you know, something that's complementary in color is fine, but if you're going to put leaves in here, you may as well put leaves that were on the outside. So anyway, so that's just me personally. Why do I keep going forward on that one? Okay, so Kelly Green. So this is an older color, not an older, it's a color that we've had before, but I'm not sure if it's existed for this product. So I know that when the Dory Short came out on Lug Live, I guess it was the summer now, they came out in a ton of colors. So I imagine a lot of the colors have sold out since. So I don't know if this is one of the colors that it came out in originally. So someone's going to have to let me know. But let's take a look real quick. So I got to assume it's the same interior color. Yep, so it's that, what is it, Bouquet Cream, I think it is. Look at the pattern placement on that one. Look at that. Look at the flowers right in the middle. Well done. And you can see some good, you know, some flowers here as well. They're not sort of all hidden away. Okay, so that's the interior of that. Again, I don't know if Love Stripe Multi was one of the original colors. I feel like it was. I don't know. I actually kind of like it on this particular thing because it's not too busy. There aren't too many clashing stripes going in two different directions. You know, like you kind of expect the top to not perfectly match the bottom, but because there's enough stripe going in one direction both ways, it doesn't freak me out quite so much as some of the other times where there's like way too many things going on. So I don't hate it in this particular pattern. Sorry, this particular item. So again, let's just take a quick peek and see, you know, kind of get a general sense of it. The interior is the same. So, Yeah, it's not my favorite interior. It's fine. Okay. Ooh, midnight black, is that? Midnight, no, metallic black. Okay. So I got to assume, again, it's got to be that sort of contemporary fern, I think it's called. Yeah. Okay. It's really not my favorite print. I know they're trying really hard to come up with something for blacks, and it just seems to fail every single time. Yeah, it's just too dark for me. Like I have a couple of, I have one thing with this print, and it's just so dark inside. Yeah, and it's also not gender neutral. Like there are some guys who would be fine with it, and there are some guys who are just not fine with it. Like anything botanical. You know, guys, there's some guys who are like, it's too girly, it's too floral. So, like, for example, I would love to be able to give this to certain guys, but there are some guys in my life I know would never touch that. I know some guys who would absolutely never even, you know, wouldn't even cross their mind not to, but there are some guys who I know they would shun this. So, anyway, there we go. So, not so gender neutral on that one. It is a good sort of plain sort of a solid, but it's meh. And also the metallic too makes it a little bit harder to swallow for some guys. Okay, so here we go. So back to the metallics. I think this is metallic silver. Yes, it is. And that lovely interior. I still absolutely love that interior. I think those two colors go so well together. So there we go. So that's the interior of that one. Metallic rose gold. I think is that new too? Might be. This is very, very, very cute. This is, if you happen to have a little ballet dancer in your life, this would be a great little bag for them to carry like their hair stuff, like their hair brush and their hair nets and their, you know, like bun doodads, you know, maybe like, you know, a little bit of like a spray bottle or a little bit of hairspray. This would be a great little kit to send for your little ballet dancer or dancer in general, because these are the kinds of things that every dancer needs. Is a little kit where they can put like a hairbrush and a comb and clips and hair bands and whatever it is. And so you can put all the little, like the hairpins and stuff inside this. And then you can have the hairbrush and the water bottle and the hairspray in here and you're set. So, you know, if the kid's hair falls out or they need to do it somewhere, it's all in here. And it's just such a pretty little color. Okay, so, and then, whoa, metallic walnut, I'm pretty sure is new, because I think that's a really new color to the line. I don't think that was released in the summer. So, and I love that interior. That is one of my absolute favorite interiors of all time, and it looks so good in there with that color. Okay, Paws Black. Is that new? I don't know, because I guess they only had it in Paws Navy before, right? So I guess that is new. Now, it also looks bigger. It looks like that print's bigger. Okay, so I'm just going to go... Oh, what happened? I'm just going to go back to the Paws Navy and just look at the way... Okay, so let's just compare the two. Ready? Whoops, what did I do? Here we go. Okay, so let's look at the two side by side. So if you look at the Paws Navy and the Paws Black side by side, which I don't know if you can. Maybe I can't. Okay, I'm just going to sort of bring... Can you see the two side by side, sort of? Oh, I haven't, come on. Okay, let me just see if I can pull this over. Okay, hang on. So, just to show you a little bit anyways, I'm just going to cross them over so I can get them in the same frame. Do you see how in the black, the paws are bigger and the print is a little bit more spread out? Like, the paws are not as close together, whereas with the Paws Navy, the paws are a little bit smaller. Each individual paw is smaller, and they're a lot closer together. Now, the other thing about the Paws Black... Oh, come on. I apparently do not know how to use the internet. Okay. It just looks like you can see... Can you see that? Okay. Do you see how it's a little bit more like... It's almost like it's like a chalk paw print, so it's like a dusted on paw print. They do that a little bit here as well, but you don't see it as well because, or as clearly, because I guess the print is a little bit smaller. So I guess if you pull out that print, you can probably see that. But here it just looks like they put their paw in like paint and stuck it on, whereas this one, it looks like they stuck their paw in like chalk dust and stamped it on. So there's a slight difference in the actual imprint of the paw print. So if that means anything to you at all, just the sort of the size of the paw, the sparseness of the actual print on the fabric, and then the sort of more dusty looking sort of paw print versus something a little bit more solid here. So anyways, I just noticed that, like, again, when I was looking at this earlier, so I thought I would draw your attention to it in case it matters to anybody. So there we go. All right, so where are we here? So there we go, inside. Okay. And then Sandtop. Now, hang on. Didn't Sandtop exist? Yes, it did. Okay, so there are two Sandtops. They actually came out with the exact same color. So weird. Obviously, it was a good selling color. Anyway, so if you happen to have the Sandtop in the original Dolly short, if you didn't like the size, you can actually get another one and make it slightly bigger. Maybe you can have them nest one side the other. I don't know. Anyway, so there we go. That is definitely the same color. Weird. So I don't even know why they bothered, because they already had one. That's so weird. All right, and then the last one here, which is the brand new color that we didn't even see coming, which is... I don't know. It says very berry blue. I see kind of more like a periwinkle, sort of like a purpley color in there. But anyways, it is blue, I guess. It is definitely like a blueberry blue. But I want to know what color orange that is. So I want to know if that's like more like a coral orange, or is it more like a spicy orange? That I would like to see. I don't really know. I'd love to find out. I'd love to be able to see the two oranges side by side, because if you happen to be really into that orange, the coral orange that came out in the summer with the neons, if you love that color, now you're going to get something that will complement all of those things that you already have in the orange. So let's just see here. It looks to me like I think those two things go together really well. If I can just bring that back. Oh, for heaven's sake. Okay, having some issues today. Look at that. Those are cute together. Those are so cute. So if you happen to have anything in the coral from the summer, like from the neon collection, if you happen to like blue as well, here's a really good way to add a different color to your collection and still be able to pull out that beautiful orange. So if you've got lots of orange accessories, and you can get, like, in a larger bag, you get the very berry blue. Oh, what a great little combination that would be. So anyway, there we go. So yeah, not my favorite colors overall here. I like them together as a general rule, but for some reason I think I don't like this print. It's just not me personally. It's not, I don't know, it doesn't tell me anything other than what it is. I think it's because I prefer things that kind of reflect us. Ooh, I forgot about this as well. That reflect a season or reflect a, I don't know, like, I think I would have to find things that match it. I don't own anything in those colors. I don't own anything that would look good with that. So for me, even though I like those colors together, I have zero use for this particular print in my life, in my collection, other than it's just nice. I do, however, want to comment on the interior. So those of you who've watched my channel, you know how much interiors mean to me. I always really believe that if you have a really excellent interior, to me it makes or breaks whether or not I will buy that product. I have definitely, I guess, seen products where the interior was so not something I would like that I end up not buying it simply because I don't like the interior. There are a couple of colors where the interior is just so not me that I just never end up getting because I don't want to look inside and see the interior. But I love this one. I think it beautifully complements those colors that are on the outside really well. It's a lighter color, so you can still see what's going on, but the shapes and the colors really complement. So you've got the oranges pulled in here, you've got that darker blue pulled in here, but it's complementary in that this exact interior this interior was made exactly for the exterior, so you can see all the same shapes, and I love this. So unlike what they did for the Dragonfly Ice Pop and for the Flourish Berry, where they had completely weird random looking interior prints, this one was very clearly designed specifically for the exterior, which I really love. So Even though I have no absolute use for this particular color or print in my collection, I applaud it for being so beautifully complementary on the outside and on the inside. So there we go. That is the collection. So there we go. I hope that was helpful for you. I hope that helped you sort of figure out whether this is going to be the right Dory short for you, whether the SE is a better size, or maybe it doesn't matter because it's only a ½ an inch and who cares. But just to draw your attention to that. So if you're trying to get a whole collection of them, like if you've got a little storage system and it all depends on the Dory short, you are going to discover that the Dory short SE actually will be a little bit bigger than the original one. So there you go. That is the video. I don't even know what this is going to be called, like a first impression or a comparison or whatever. But anyways, that's the Dory short SE cosmetic case and comparing it to the original Dory short. So I hope that was helpful. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time.